My name is Taylor, and I am a student working to become a child life specialist. Today we are going to discuss sibling support, especially when dealing with loss. No parent wants to lose their child, and sometimes there is an added challenge of explaining the situation to siblings. In addition to coping with the circumstances and managing their own grief, parents or family members have to find the words or actions to comfort the siblings of the deceased child. Sibling support is so important because they may have lots of questions or lack important information for understanding, so helping them have closure and peace of mind helps them cope better and deal with the loss. So today we will talk about sibling support for bereavement and what to do or say to help them cope. Sometimes parents lack the words to say, so Child Life is present to help fill in the gaps, and they're also available to offer a comforting, supportive presence for families. In terms of Child Life, meaning if you are a Child Life specialist trying to comfort a sibling, keep these things in mind. Sometimes the responsibility of delivering the bad news falls on the Child Life specialist. We use our knowledge of development, coping, and psychosocial issues to offer age-appropriate and compassionate explanations for loss. Our job is to offer comfort for the entire family, not just the patient, so sibling care is also an important part of our scope of practice. When talking with the sibling, be prepared for all sorts of responses. Some children may respond loudly with anger, while others may go through shock. Whatever the response may be their strength. Be their strength so they don't have to be. Some children feel the need to cope by putting on a brave face. They feel the need to support their families or be brave for others. Allow them to be emotional. Allow them to cope and react the way they need to. Additionally, take into consideration the siblings or the family's view on death. Are their views shaped by religion or cultural practices? How do they view their sibling now? Knowing the answers to these questions can help the Child Life specialist create personalized interventions that help the sibling cope without crossing any boundaries. Based on developmental age and familial practices, interventions can be drawn from things such as legacy building, art expression, footprints or hand molds, such as the latest child project like finger painting or hand art. You can also use legacy things such as memory boxes or shadow boxes. You can help the sibling create scrapbooks, journals, or write letters. All of these things are expressive. Guiding the sibling to express their emotions allows them to acknowledge, process, and cope with their feelings. Interventions can also come from books, pamphlets, audio sources, and even outdoor activities such as planting something new or creating a garden in memory of a loved one. Our job as a Child Life specialist is to remind the siblings that they are not alone and to help them discuss and remember who is in their circle of trust and comfort. Helping them think of people to talk to is very important, whether that be a therapist, counselor, psychologist, best friend, family member such as mom and dad. Speaking of mom and dad, in terms of parenthood, meaning if you are a parent trying to comfort your child, here are some tips to keep in mind for you. First and foremost, validate their feelings. They may, and most certainly will, cope differently than you do, especially depending on their age. For instance, a toddler does not understand that death is permanent, yet an older child, a school-age child, or young teen fully understands that it's permanent, but may instead struggle with personal guilt, asking themselves questions, did I do something wrong? Could I have helped or prevented something? And so on. As a parent, help them process their feelings by acknowledging them instead of dismissing them. Do not dismiss your child's feelings. That way, they feel comfortable in expressing them to you. Depending on your child's coping strategies, utilize legacy activities that I previously mentioned. Focus on the joy of the activity rather than the pain of the loss. If you still struggle for words to say, look for support groups. Sometimes healing comes from others who share the same or similar experiences. Enroll the sibling in a support group or take them to a grieving center. One such example is Our House Grieving Center, which has several locations in California. I encourage you to look into their resources. They have meetings, books, videos, and even offer counseling and support for all ages. Another example is an organization called Our Compassionate Friends. They have chapters all over the country. You can use their website to look up locations closest to you. Their website also offers grieving and support packets and online forum for discussion and supporting community members. This is in addition to their real physical sites that you can visit. Death can be hard to talk about, especially for siblings and young children. But remember that it is a natural part of life and that no one has to go through loss alone, nor should they for that matter. Reach out for help or support and realize that all things take time. If you are watching this video trying to deal with the loss of a loved one, I hope this offers some degree of comfort and knowledge, and I hope that the rest of your day may be happy.